name is Brittany, and I homeschool my 2 children, a 2nd grader and a 4th grader. And we started out our school year with a 7-week Ancient Egypt unit study. We wrapped it up today, and I thought it would be nice to go through and show you some of the projects we did. My kids really enjoy hands-on learning, and I made it a goal to start the year out strong with more projects. And we've done a lot. So I thought I would go through and show you the things we've done and tell you what was worth our time and what maybe really wasn't. So I'm surrounded by Ancient Egypt projects, so I'll just dive in. The first thing I'm going to show you is a Canopic Jar. You can see this is my son's. It's a Pringles can covered in paper mache, and then the head is made out of air dry clay. And then inside, I'm not going to open it, but there's an air dry clay organs are inside. So that's my son's. This is my daughter's, my 4th grader. They turned out really good. This one was really easy. I would definitely recommend doing this one. This one, I didn't really get from anywhere. I just looked at pictures online and then we just kind of did it. The next thing I'm going to show you, they made their own obelisks. We were reading the Red Pyramid during this unit study, and they used obelisks in the book as portals, and so I thought it would be pretty cool. This one wasn't really worth it. It's just floral foam that's carved, glued onto a piece of wood, and then spray painted. It really wasn't that much fun. It's just something that's going to take up space now. So this isn't probably one I would do again. But this one is. These may just look like white lumps, but these are shabtis. Oops, that one's dirty. Shabtis. So what we did for this, and they smell good, we took soap and we grated it, and then they used water to form their own shabtis. They really enjoyed this one. Really cool tactile experience. They're excited to put their shabtis in their bedrooms for decoration, and so this one was cheap, this one was fun, this one I would do again. This one I would not. When we were learning about scribes and hieroglyphs and stuff, we made ostracas, and it is just chalkboard paint on a planter, and they haven't touched it. It took like 5 minutes to do, and they've never played with them again. So luckily we can just flip them over and use them for their intended purpose, but probably would skip this one. This one was a lot of fun. This one's mine. I did some of the projects with them. We made papyrus boats, reed boats, out of straws, just drinking straws, twine. My kids used duct tape, and then we spray painted them. They had a lot of fun with those. They actually brought them into the bathtub and pretended that they were monsters in the Nile River, and the boats actually floated. They had a lot of fun with this, and yeah, would recommend this. These were kind of cute and kind of easy. Was it worth our time? Cartouche. We made these out of plaster of Paris, and it was fine. There wasn't much to it. There wasn't a whole lot for them to do. They're kind of cool. I'm sure they'll put them on their desks. It was fine. It was a cheap activity, but I don't know that they got a lot out of it. Let's see. Oh my gosh, the pyramids that we didn't finish. So I will try to find the blog post that I found this project for and link it. I love the idea of this. You take project foam blocks and you glue them onto a cardboard pyramid. Except I'm not that great. You can tell the lines are kind of not right. I'm not very good at making cardboard pyramids, and then we ran out of foam blocks. My kids got really just bored with it really fast, and now we have 2 half-finished pyramids. I think this project could be really good if you do it better than we did. it didn't do much for us. It was kind of disappointing. Let's see. Funeral masks. These ended up being pretty cool. Yeah, it's just paper mache and that like roll of cloth stuff. I forget what it's called. Plaster roll cloth, maybe? I don't know. We used both, and then they used some of the gold leaf like foil on top, and they had a lot of fun with this. It kind of took forever. There was some trial and error. We had never really used much of those supplies. It was fun though. They liked it. I think they turned out really cool. Okay, I will try to insert a clip of my kids making their version of the Nile River that we then flooded. Oh, it's okay. Keep going.
I don't know.
Ah! Oh gosh! Oh my goodness!
The Nile has flooded.
We have this. We planted catgrass, and my son harvested it whenever it was really tall, and then he wrapped some string around it, and so we've just had this on our homeschool display table ever since. But it was fun. It was a fun activity. All right, next up we did a Salto Relief Map. This one was pretty straightforward. It was pretty easy. If you have an opportunity to make Salto, make Salto. It's always fun. They turned out good. I think it helped them to understand where Egypt was, what it looks like, all of that kind of stuff. It was a good project. It's just basic Salto. Papyrus and berry ink. I wonder if you can. So it's just pieces of cardstock and then the same type of paste you would use for paper mache, just the flour and water mixture. And they laid them down in horizontally and vertically, and then let them dry. And then we have blackberries that they used for ink. It turned out really cool. This was probably my favorite one. I got kind of into it because the book said to make a sawdust clay, which I had never made before, and it ended up being really easy and made the coolest clay. If you've never made sawdust clay, you've got to try it. So we made amulets. My son made a shield to represent bravery. My daughter made a moon to represent good sleep. And then I made a couple, I made more than this to be honest, but we have a heart and an ankh. I tried to make some of the more traditional ones with the leftover sawdust clay, but it dries nice and hard. You can paint over it. It smells kind of good. It's pretty cool. We made a lot of amulets. Like I said, this was probably my favorite activity that we did. They seemed to like it too. Would definitely do that again, and we'll probably use this clay for other projects as well. Oh, you can't even hardly see it. A crook and a flail, made out of PVC pipe and duct tape. And then the flail has some yarn and straw beads on the end. You wouldn't think that this was a fun project, but they loved it. They still play with these. They were super into it, and it was super cheap, just a couple pieces of cheap PVC pipe from Home Depot and some spray paint, and you have yourself a crook and a flail. We made tunics. I wouldn't do this again probably. I just got some sheets from the thrift store and cleaned them and then sewed them into tunics and cut little frills in the end, and then they decorated them with paint pens. It was fun. They wore them for a little bit, but it really wasn't that great. This unit study's been a lot of fun, but I saved their favorite project for last. We mummified Barbies. I have a whole video from when we mummified them, but I'll show you kind of, they even have little death masks. This was so much fun. We went through the whole process from removing the organs to rubbing the bodies down with oils, and I mean, we did everything. They even have little shop teas they made for them to take into the afterlife, and they food, little Chips Ahoy. Yeah, so they still talk about it. It was their favorite thing that we've done. And the only other project that we did that I don't have in here because it's still in my garage is we made thrones. My son really liked that project. My daughter wasn't that into it. I'll try to go take a little video of it to kind of show you. So, I mean, it was a long unit study. It was 7 whole weeks, but we were doing projects constantly, and it was so much fun. I think it really made them more immersed into what we were learning, which is really all I wanted. And I think it really accomplished that. I hope to be able to incorporate a lot of projects moving forward. Some things are going to be easier than others. History units especially, it's so easy to incorporate projects in history and some science, but then like we're doing a unit on government coming up, and that's going to be a little bit harder. But I loved our ancient Egypt unit. My kids loved it. My son today was even kind of sad. He was like, oh, we're done. So I want to try to include this many projects moving forward, or at least some projects. I think it works really well, especially if you have kids who are really into arts and crafts like mine are. But that's it. Thank you for watching.